We're also doing another topic. So this is something new. This is not something we have done before. Yeah, there's a problem. So the main issue we're trying to get at is, so say if we have different data sets, how do we decide which one is better? So what criteria do we use to make a decision which dataset is more reliable? We would like to devise an actual metric that will measure the data quality. Yeah, I'll pop it into our new knowledge graph generator as well. We're still testing it, as everything else is a work in progress. The good thing about it is that you can essentially change your complexity by changing the maximum number of nodes. I don't know, I still think that if you have these nodes that are not connected to anything, I'm still thinking it probably tells you something about the poor quality of the text. You can try it with this new text. Pop it in, generate graph. Yeah, maybe start with just 5 nodes. Let's start another GPT-4o with canvas. We'll pop the code in. I would like to, yeah, it gave some example code, Python code. Yeah, I did say that the point system is a bit confusing. We need to make it clearer and better. So I did do that. Yeah, like the point system, is it possible to do comparison of different data sets using GPT? Well, yeah, of course it will say yes. Well, it's like any so-called expert will say yes to that. But also it gave some code example for actually training a model. Yes, it's assuming you have an interactions dataset in CSV format, which, well, I do not at the moment. Yeah, Pandas, scikit-learn, whatever, decision tree classifier, that's some basic classification stuff. But yeah, well, everything will kind of depend on, you know, what the dataset is and how it's structured. You can have basic interactions, but yeah, it's giving a hypothetical dataset A, B, C, giving it scoring. Yeah, so FooDB has datasets. How do I actually download the FooDB one without actually going to the website? I want a Python API. I want Python API or just GitHub. I need GitHub repository. That would be ideal because I can just download stuff. I don't want to be downloading stuff from random websites that I'm not actually familiar with. Yeah, 125 megabytes of data. It's I can load it like anywhere. I mean, yeah, this current transcription thingy is using 132 megabytes in your browser. The graph is using 238 megabytes of memory in the browser. You can definitely just like load the CSV. I don't even need to, I could actually have it in HTML, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that would be the main problem, is that CSV probably would not have the columns with the same name. So this one is assuming, so I don't know what that data file from FooDB will have, but yeah, in this case, for it to work, it will need to have these 3 columns. I mean, we can change it, but then the code will change. Yeah, so essentially we split the dataset. This is standard split of 20% for test data, and the rest is validation. Yeah, we will potentially want to print out the performance of the model, like so. So model accuracy should be going up, model loss should be going down, and we should be able to train within whatever 10, 15, 20 epochs. It should stabilize, so it should look like that. Then we also want to plot the confusion matrix. It's all standard stuff that Python is really good at. But the question in this case, so we're splitting. Well, right. So we can then test it on another data set. So that's how we only need to make a decision which data set to use first for training, and then we could actually use the next data set to do like a second stage training. But first we want to actually see how well the model performs on that second data set. But yes, but the good thing is that we did find an open access repository. So if there is interest, we could try and what's called parse it. Looks like there's a version, different versions. What are the different? What's the difference between the versions? Because here you have version 2, version 3. Yeah, I'm just not sure. There is like version 4 as well, but that doesn't seem to be available for download. So they're more updated. So yeah, so the date of this thing does matter. But yeah, how do we need an information about it, essentially what's in it. So there's a table. Yeah, if you have the description, there's a, yeah, if you can cover the difference between versions. Well, we're downloading version 3. We just want to bring a sample from the dataset and have one HTML file. We might just rely on JavaScript. We won't do the training yet. We just want to show what's in the data. For example, do like a knowledge graph type of stuff. Yeah, we'll be exporting into CSV, maybe just a sample of it, obviously not the whole thing. And importing, printing with headers, then visualizing as a knowledge graph. That's in Python, so that will be Backend. Okay, there's an example in using D3, so visualization in HTML. Well, it's done. There you go. Done and dusted. The code will of course work with no errors. Yeah, we can deploy actually like a general thing. So we have Bionic Chaos as all open source, and I'm trying to offload the electricity costs to the user. So essentially Bionic Chaos will be only HTML and JavaScript. There will be no backend. For backend, unfortunately, will be using a different service, so a different website, and that is still under development. Might require login. That's just to cover the electricity costs. But I'll talk more about it later. There's no questions. There are no questions in the chat. Did we finish downloading? Yes. Just under a 900 megabytes SQL file.